Hi, this is Mike from BandLab, and in this video, we're going to make an 80s soul beat in BandLab's free online DAW. You can open this project yourself with the link in the video description. And if you find this guide useful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first to know when new videos drop. I start by setting the project tempo to 90 beats per minute and the project key to D minor. I want to have a drum pattern to compose to, so I begin by adding a virtual instrument track and setting it to drums, drum pads, Prince kit. I add claps on the second and fourth beat of the bar and put kicks on the first, 7th, and 10th 16th notes. I then add closed hats on 8th notes, with an open hat on the last 8th note. I duplicate this bar out for the duration of the 4-bar clip. To duplicate notes or clips in BandLab, hold Option on Mac or Alt on Windows and drag them over. I turn this track's volume down to -3 dB to give me headroom to add more elements to the mix. Next, I add another instrument track and set this one to keyboards, pianos, Rhodes. I'm going to compose the chords for the chorus first. The track is in D minor, but I'm going to modulate up a perfect 5th in the chorus to give it a lift. So I'm starting on an A minor 7, then hitting F sharp minor 7, then D minor 7, and E minor 7. I'm going to add some effects to the sound to make it feel more glossy. I open the effects panel and add a modulation phase 72 effect. I turn its speed down to 0.2. I then add a reverb, studio reverb, setting the mix to 3.3 and the size to 3.1. I set this track's volume to -9 dB to balance it with the drum sounds. Before I compose the rest of the track, I want to add some other elements to get a feel for how things are going to sound. I add an instrument track and set it to basses, synth basses, deep house. I set this track to -3 dB. I compose a bass line that follows the root notes of the chords, but with a D to E flourish at the end of each bar. For the final chord, I swap the D and E around to switch things up. I'd also like to add some strings. I add an instrument track and set this one to strings, strings orchestra stack. I set this track to -4.5 dB. I compose a pattern that follows the root note of the chords. I duplicate this part so it also plays the octave up too, which gives me a bigger sound. I add a studio reverb to the track, setting the mix to 5.1 and the size to 1.8. The strings don't provide us with any added harmonic interest, but they help drive the chorus, and in addition to the key modulation, will help lift the chorus up from the rest of the arrangement. Now I'm going to compose the verse. I duplicate the drum part out. For the verse, I start with D minor 7, then go to G minor 7 sus2. This 2-chord groove then repeats. I add an accompanying bass line, which plays D, then C. Now I want to make a pre-chorus. I duplicate out the drum and piano clips. I change the piano part to play D minor 7, G minor 7 sus2, C minor 9 sus4 in the 4th inversion, and an A sharp major 7 in the 1st inversion. The bass line for this section plays D, C, D, A sharp. This leads into the chorus, giving us a smooth transition between the verse and chorus. For the arrangement, I start with 8 bars of the verse piano and the drum beat. On bar 9, the bass drops, and we've started the verse proper. The verse leads into the pre-chorus and chorus. After the chorus, we repeat the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus structure. At bar 41, we have a bassless bridge where the hats drop out. Here, the piano plays D minor 7, G sharp major 7, and F sus4. After 8 bars of bridge, we finish with a double-length chorus. You can fork this project to make your own version of it using the link in the video description. Have fun!